my name is Tamika. This is my channel, Tamika Uploaded. You guys, my name is Tamika and this is my channel, Tamika Uploaded, and I'm so elated to tell you guys what I read in the month of April. So the month of April was an okay month. It wasn't the best month I definitely can say I've had. I've yet to get those numbers again. I'm so glad that my Goodreads goal is only 50 books this year, because this month I've only read 4 books. I was hoping for 5, but I only read 4, which isn't horrible, okay? So as far as the quality of my reading or the enjoyment of my reading, I would say it was a pretty good month. Only one of the books was meh, and the rest of the books were really, really good. So without further ado, the first book that I read this month was the book that I liked the least, and that was Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendar Blake, and I gave that a 2 out of 5 stars. Now, was it a horrible book? No. Does it have some redeeming qualities? Yes. But for those who don't know what Anna Dressed in Blood is about, it's the story of a boy who moves to a town because he heard of a local legend about a ghost where if you step into the house, she murders you. This boy is actually a legacy from his father, who actually is a ghost hunter who kills and exorcises ghosts and monsters. Well, when this boy unluckily ends up in the house due to a child prank, Anna kills a number of the people in the house, but she saves his life. The question is, who is Anna Dressed in Blood? Why is she killing people? And why did she spare this hunter's life? The thing that's really redeeming and positive about this book that I really did enjoy was a lot of the killing. You know, sadly enough, I was in it for the horror. I heard this was a scary book. It was gonna knock my socks off. So anytime I was like, we are ripping hearts out of chests, I was there for it. But unfortunately, there wasn't enough of that for me. It actually becomes a love story, and I didn't buy it. That was what I didn't care for. It becomes a love story, and I just didn't buy it. Another thing that was redeeming about the book was the backstory of Anna. I mean, the book really picks up from there. It shoots off into the sky when we start talking about Anna, how she came to be and who she was as a person. And so I really, really enjoyed that part. But all the teen angst and the other characters whose names I don't even remember, all those dynamics were just blasé, bland. Another thing that was a little bit off was the big bad boss at the end. I felt as though that part of the story really disconnect from the whole point of Anna Dressed in Blood. Like, I felt like maybe it should have had a different name or something, but it was just something about the premise of the book versus what the book really ended up being about was a little bit, for me, a disconnect, and I didn't buy it. I heard this book is one in a series. I will certainly not be going on. And do I think you should read it or should you pass? I would say you can pass. If you don't read it, your life won't be over. If you do read it, maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But do you have to read it? No, certainly not. The next book that I read, I loved. If you didn't know, last year I read Mindy Kaling's Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns. And so it just seemed fitting that I read her next book, Why Not Me? Also by Mindy Kaling, a continuation of like her autobiography thoughts and other humorous things. I didn't think that the second book would be better than the first book, but I was so wrong. I really love the second book of Mindy Kaling. And if you don't know, Mindy Kaling is the writer and star of The Mindy Project on Hulu, which I think was originally on Fox. And she also was a writer on The Office, if you were a big fan of of The Office. And she also was a character there too. So I'm a big fan of her. I think she's absolutely hilarious, but her book and her writing style is just so easy to read. And I'm not a autobiography kind of a person. But after reading both of her books, I decided that I may tread the waters further, and I think the next book that I might read it would be Trevor Noah. I am such a huge fan of his stand-up, and I'm such a huge fan of watching him on The Daily Show, and his backstory is just mind-boggling. So should you be reading Mindy Kaling's work? Yes, go for it. It's so good. I'm sure you can get it from the library. But is it worth purchasing? Yes. I heard this one on audiobook, but I am going to go back and purchase it because I really, really did love that book. The next two books are actually from the same series. I read City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare, as well as City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. Wow! These were a wild ride, to say the least. For City of Ashes, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was good. I thought it was a great pickup from the first book. I think it has a lot more action than the first book, for sure. I can see from these two books why they would want to make this into a TV series or a book series. There's so much material, you can do a lot with it. And even with the few changes, I wouldn't be upset with it. City of Ashes, the cool thing about this is that I think Clary gets to know herself just a little bit more. She's still super annoying, but I start to feel a connection with Jace, and of course my endearing love for Simon never ends. In City of Glass, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I was holding off on 5 stars because I was like, I know the next book could be better. And when I was told that this was originally a trilogy, I can see the reason why this really could have stood alone. It's the epilogue, I think, that really pushes this forward, but it really could have stopped here and I would have been perfectly fine. But will I go on? Am I still interested? Of course I am. The things that happened to Simon, mind-blowing, okay? And then Clary really steps it up. I mean, she was still stupid the first half of the book, but the second half of the book, much respect to her character. Thank you, Cassandra, because I was getting real tired of her. And Jace, oh, it all works out for him. And I'm just so happy because I was really starting to feel emo for him as well. I will tell you guys that I am still loving the Mortal Instruments. I have not gotten tired with it. I will be going further on. Those are the books that I read for the month of April. If you have any questions, let me know down below. And please follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. So anyway, you guys, I love y'all so much. And as always, have a wonderful day.